All right, what's good? All right, good evening, everybody. This is your brother, your homie, your friend, your confidant, all those good things. This is Frank coming to you live and direct with another edition of Views from the Man Cave. Um, it's Friday evening. I hope everybody had a good day, a good evening. It was real nice in the DMV. It's about 80 degrees, so definitely had to get outside, get a walk in. You know what I mean? Burn some calories a little bit, get in the car, go for a ride. It's a good day. So I hope everybody had a good day. Hope everybody had a chance to get out there and move around a little bit. You know, um, here in Maryland, they lifted the restrictions for us with the virus. So a lot of restaurants are opening and a lot of stores are opening and things like that. So a lot of people were out. Still be safe out there. You know what I mean? Still be safe. Wear your mask, wash your hands, all that good stuff. Keep your distance. But if you live here in the state of Maryland, we get to move around a little bit. You know what I mean? But still be conscious, still be smart, still be safe. So we're supposed to have a good weekend, man. It's gonna be like over 80 degrees here in Maryland. So definitely, man, I'm gonna get out and get the wife and kids together and kind of ride around. Do a little something. Practicing social distancing, of course. But just shout out everybody for coming through, showing love, man. I appreciate it. Another edition of Views from the Man Cave. We're gonna get into it a little bit later. We're gonna talk about the masculine mindset. What that is, what that represents. And why it's important. Why it's important for brothers to have that masculine mindset, and why it's important for ladies to respect it. So I see Devin in here. Good evening, Devin. How you doing? So so welcome everybody. Come in, pull up, have a seat. Um, just want to thank again all the supporters of the channel. My team, y'all know who y'all are. All the supporters, y'all know who y'all are. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I just want to thank y'all for everything y'all do for the channel, man. Liking posts and all that. Sharing. Doing all those good things, man. I really appreciate it. I count that all joy, and I don't take it lightly that so many people are showing the kid love and supporting me and what I'm doing over here. So thank you for that. Um, so I want to start off. First thing I want to do, I want to shout out, a sister of mine, in these social media streets, in these YouTube streets. Um, my sister Tiffany Marie. She just started a channel on YouTube called The Willis Wife Way. She's doing a lot of good things over there. She's working on content. She just put some content out, I think recently, either today or the day before. But very feminine sister, man. She's happily married, stay-at-home mom, all that good stuff, man. She's always posting stuff on social media. With her cooking game. Her cooking game is superb. So, what I mean? If you're a lady, you trying to get your skills right in the kitchen and learn a few things, what I mean? You could check her out, man. That's the young lady. That's the sister Tiffany Marie, and her YouTube channel is called It's the Willis Wife Way. You know what I mean? So check her out. Like and subscribe to her. Go over there. You know what I mean? See what she has to offer. Add that to your repertoire. My man, Ultimate Black Man Radio, Gabe is in the building. What's good, man? It's good, man. It's good out here. It was 80 degrees today. You know what I mean? Sunny, all that. So it's good. I'm good. Everybody's good. The family's good. So like I said, shout out my sister Tiffany Marie. Go check her out on her YouTube channel, The Willis Wife Way. So there's a lot of things going on, man, in the world right now. A lot of current events popping off. Um, I saw something, with the whole Ahmaud Arbery situation down in Georgia. Rest in peace to him. And prayers and love go out to his family. For that brother who was brutally murdered in Georgia. And you have a lot of people out here who are trying to clout chase. You know what I mean, on the wrong side of things, in order to get their name and their fame up. And I'm specifically talking about, Candace Owens. So I read a lot of, stuff about her on Twitter, stuff that she's putting out about the brother, calling him a thug and all that, saying that he was going into the property and everything. with the intent to, to commit theft and stuff like that, man, that's a no-go. You know what I mean? First of all, there's so many reports that have come out, um, in regards to this brother that, hey, their property was never violated. Um, you know, no one ever filed a report. So it's very dangerous what this sister's doing, what Candace is doing, because, it's shining a bad light on this brother. You know what I mean? Because when it's time, when it's court time, when it's arraignment time, you know what I mean? And the trial comes, she's painting a bad light for this brother. You know what I mean? And so, but we know what time it is with that. You know what I mean? We know how certain people move and shake, especially in the criminal justice game. First thing they're going to do is they're going to try their best to discredit this brother. You know what I mean? They're going to call him all types of thugs and criminals and thieves and all of that. They're going to pull up, if he has a criminal record, they're going to pull it up. If he doesn't have one, they'll find one. They'll find a brother, his auntie, his grandma, somebody with a criminal record in his family. You know what I mean? They're going to put that out there to try to criminalize this brother. And then on top of that, they're going to paint his murderers, in a good light. You know what I mean? They're going to talk about, I think the guy who killed him, the father, was a cop. You know what I mean? Was a police officer. So, so they're definitely going to try to, to put that out there and make those guys look like there's something that they're really not, in order to validate them and not give them the opportunity to be presented, for who they are, for killers and racists and whatnot. So we already know what time it is with that. So I'm not really, but we know Candace Owens. We know her repertoire. We know what she does and what she's about. But at the end of the day, that's going to fail, because when you allow yourself to be used as a tool, tools get old and tools get dull. And eventually those tools are going to get discarded, and they're going to discard her. You know what I mean? So whatever clout she's trying to chase, it's not going to work. I already read a report showing that the Black Republicans, some of the higher up Black Republicans in the party, are already kind of denouncing her and turning away from her. So it's only a matter of time, you know what I mean, before she gets thrown in the trash. So, you know what I mean? So, hey, I mean, it's that's something she got to live with. And so I saw another article, man, on social media about it was about Lizzo, man. She was talking about how, her and Jill Scott basically get treated different. You know what I mean? How, they're not the same. But she doesn't understand why people love Jill Scott and they don't love her. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, first and foremost, check it out. Like, you're not Jill Scott. You know what I'm saying? That's first and foremost. Jill Scott is a critically acclaimed, world-renowned artist. You know what I mean? She's talented. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying Lizzo is not talented, but Lizzo is not on that level yet. And on top of that, Jill ain't running around, with her bare ass cheeks, you know what I mean, on seats at NBA arenas. You know what I mean? So y'all not the same. You know what I mean? People are not going to treat y'all the same. You know what I mean? If Lizzo was listening to this, if she heard this, I would tell her, man, look, stop trying so hard. You know what I mean? Lead with your talent. You know what I mean? You're a classically trained flutist. You have some skills or whatever on the music side of the game. Focus on that. You know what I mean? Let people, lead off with that. Let people know you and have a respect for you based off your talent, not based off your bare ass cheeks being exposed. You know what I mean? So they're not really on the same level. So, so get up off that. And so, we got another edition too of the Meghan Markle and Prince Harry saga going on. You know what I mean? It's like every week there's a situation or there's an article talking about how this guy's not happy, and you know what I mean, things that he likes to do. He can't do them anymore because his wife doesn't like it, and she's not cool with it. So you look at this guy, man, and he gave up everything for love. You know what I mean? And it doesn't really seem like he's getting anything back. Every time you see an article or read something about their situation, it's always about what he gave up, where he had to move, you know what I mean? What he had to do in order to make the situation comfortable. And so, I don't really see that I don't really see that lasting, honestly. You know what I mean? I don't really see that popping off. You know what I mean? It's a lot of things. I know people who read it will say, well, that's just the tabloids and, they don't really know them and it's not really coming from them directly. But, um, but look, man, most of the time where there's smoke, there's fire. You know what I mean? And they have a lot of people around them and people are putting stuff out there anonymously as they should. But, it's just too much information out there, man. Like the dude don't seem happy. Seemed like he's giving up everything. It seemed like, honestly, Megan kind of preyed on him a little bit. Like she kind of understood, what happened with his mom and stuff like that. So, it's not a good look at all for a guy to give up everything like that and, give up his legacy and royalty and lineage and all of that, for love and to get moved around. And this man was a prince. He was living in castles and now he's living in, one of Tyler Perry's houses. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that is what it is. But, one more thing before we get into it, man, I read another article about, Mike Tyson and Holyfield talking about getting in the ring, man, for a trilogy. So I don't know, man, with the virus and everything and with not too many things popping out here, I might even check that out. If they put that out, you know what I mean, they do a pay-per-view or they do something on ESPN or something like that. I might even watch Mike, you know what I'm saying, the Holyfield go at it, man. Like, I mean, hopefully, they can move, they can function in the ring, but, you know, the boxing game ain't really what it used to be. You know what I mean? Especially not in the heavyweight division. You got two, maybe three guys that's kind of worth watching. And then outside of that, it's trash. So actually, it's funny, but if they did actually, put pen to paper and get everything together and promote it, I might actually even watch that. You know what I mean? Real talk. So shout out to Mike, man, Iron and Evander Real Deal Holyfield, man. If they set that off, hope they get that money. And hopefully it'll be better than what people expect it to be because they're a little old. They definitely old past their prime, but we'll see what happens with that. So we're gonna get into it right now. We're gonna talk about the masculine mindset. You know what I mean? Your mindset as a man is basically just how you think. You know what I mean? It's your opinions. And your mindset is important because your mindset manifests the physical. You know what I mean? Everything starts as a thought. Everything starts as a mindset. So what you see out here, how you see people move around and operate, that's directly linked to their mindset. You know what I mean? If they're confident in who they are, if they're confident in their abilities, mentally, that's going to manifest itself physically. So you can tell a lot about a person. Um, you can tell a lot about how they think, who they are internally, based on what they show you. You know what I mean? Based on what you see. So, and there are four important ways of thinking, you know what I mean, with a masculine mindset. Um, the first one is I just want to tell the brothers, look, man, it's okay. It's okay to be manly. It's okay to be masculine. And you would think that in this day and time that that's something that people will understand naturally. Like it's okay to be you. It's okay to be for a man to be a man. But in the days and times that we live in, you know what I mean, there's an attack on manhood. There's an attack on masculinity. You know what I mean? From the powers that be. You know what I mean? Shutting it down, calling it toxic. Every time you turn around, you see these underlying themes in the media, whether it be TV shows, music, movies, and there's this all out attack on on manhood. And so you see a lot of brothers out here who don't have the masculine mindset. It was never taught to them. So they're trying to be something that they're not. They're trying to fit into a certain box in order to be able to move through life. You know what I mean? So the world is telling them, hey, you shouldn't be that manly, or you shouldn't think like that, or, you should be like this, or you should be more in touch with your feminine side or whatever. And that's not really a good look for you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's number one, that's not who you are. You know what I mean? There are enough women in this world, man. We need men. We need men out here who think like men. We need men who operate and move like men. You know what I mean? And there's a reason why it's being attacked because manhood is discipline. Manhood is balance. The masculine principle, the masculine mindset brings balance. It brings order. It brings discipline to yourself first and foremost, but it brings that into a household. You know what I mean? So, um, of course, you need the feminine. The feminine is very important. It has its role and place, but the feminine is designed for a woman. You know what I mean? And you're designed to be masculine too, and y'all are designed to complement one another. For you to love her and for her to respect you, you need that balance. You need that order. You know what I mean? You don't if you're in a relationship with a female, you don't need to have her mindset. You don't need to think and operate and move like a woman. You know what I'm saying? Um, Even if she's masculine and she's playing that masculine role, then that's just not somebody or something that you want to do or that you want to be a part of at the end of the day. You know what I mean? If you can't be in a relationship and be masculine, if you can't be in any atmosphere, in any space, and you can't be yourself and you can't be masculine, then that's not a good space for you, period. You know what I mean? It's not a good space for you at all. And that's a space that, you don't want to be in. You know what I mean? Because you have to be yourself. You have to be masculine, period. Um, Let me show love to my chat. Natalie's in here. Good evening. Michelle, how you doing? Luli, how you doing? Uh, my brother Marcus said, what's good, Mark? And my man Joshua's here too. Peace, what's up? So um, thank y'all for coming through. So yeah, man, to understand that it's okay to be a man. You know what I mean? I don't care what people are saying. I don't care what these talk shows and these articles are talking about with that being toxic and we don't need that. And stay on that. Don't get off that, man. You need to be masculine. You need to be a man. That's what we need out here. That's the energy that we need. Um, Second of all, men with a masculine mindset don't really care what people think about them. You know what I'm saying? So that's very important too. Um, no one understand that. Look, that there are going to come times in life where you need advice. Um, Nicole is here. Nicole Michelle is here. Good evening. Everybody say what's good. Say what's up to Nicole for me. Um, One of my biggest supporters, man. She always shows me love. Always comes through when she has the opportunity to. I know she's very busy. So as all of you are. So I'm very thankful for y'all coming through. So hey Nicole, how you doing? Um, so masculine men with a masculine mindset don't really care what people think. You know what I mean? They dance to the beat of their own drum. They're focused. They're driven. They're determined. They're goal oriented, and they don't waver. They don't waver from those principles at all. And people, like I said, they get advice. You know what I mean? As a man, I deem myself as a masculine man with a masculine mindset, and I get advice. I get it. I get advice from brothers. I learn from brothers, whether I ask them directly or not. There's a lot of brothers out here who don't even know that I listen to them or follow them or get advice from them, and I do. You know what I mean? So as a man, you're never too confident to seek advice or to get questions answered that you need answers for. But but at the same time, you move how you need to move, and you don't really care what other people think. You know what I mean? You don't really care what other people think about it. You focus on the things that's important to you, mainly, your mind, learning, growing, evolving, getting your paper right, and taking care of your responsibilities as a man, whether that be, a girlfriend, a fiance, a wife, and your children. That's your main focus as a masculine man. And anything outside of that, um, it could be important depending on what it is, but it doesn't take precedent over those things that I just stated. And so you don't really put too much emphasis or stock in that. You really don't care about too much outside of that. You know what I'm saying? Those things come first. So another thing, man, as a masculine man, you always understand that you can always improve. You know what I mean? To be a man, you're constantly on a path to learn, to grow, and to evolve. You know what I mean? I put a post up today on Facebook and on the page for the channel, but masculinity is a journey. You know what I'm saying? And it never stops. You know what I mean? You never graduate and get a degree in masculinity. You know what I'm saying? Like you never finish. It's not a destination. It's a journey, and you keep walking it. You keep learning, and you keep growing. You know what I mean? And you always try to improve. I don't care what it is. You know what I mean? Masculine men are all about knowledge, wisdom and understanding, because it helps everything around you. It helps you individually as a man, and it helps you do everything that you need to do as a man to be a better man, to be a better husband, to be a better father, to be a better friend, to be a better business owner. You know what I mean? To be a better colleague, whatever it is. You know what I mean? You understand that you always can improve. You never settle for where you're at. You're constantly trying to grow, and that doesn't mean that you can be proud of your accomplishments. You know what I mean? You've accomplished a lot. You know what I mean? You might have finished college, or you might have bought your first home, or you might have paid your car off, or your credit is great. All of these are great. You know what I mean? All of these are good accomplishments, but you never stop. You never stop moving. You know what I mean? If you can go 5 feet, you can make it 10. You know what I mean? If you working out in the gym and you benching 220, you know what I mean? You could try to get to 225 or 230, whatever it is. You know what I mean? You always have a constant and a consistent mindset to improve. You know what I mean? That's very important. Um, Also, you have to be responsible for yourself, and you don't let other people take care of you. And this is something big, because I see a lot of guys, man, who call themselves men, and they let people take care of them. They're not responsible for their own life. You know what I mean? Um, they consistently depend on people, and that's not manly at all. That's not masculine. That's not a masculine man, a mindset. Masculine men um, always um, they're responsible for themselves. I'm responsible for myself. You know what I mean? If I don't have what I need in this life, it's nobody's fault for mine. And if I don't, it's nobody's fault but mine. And if I don't have the will or desire to go out here and get what I want as a man, then that responsibility falls on me as well. You know what I mean? You always hold yourself accountable, and you always are responsible for yourself. And you don't let anybody take care of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying as a man that you're perfect, because sometimes we make mistakes. We get money, we lose money. You know what I mean? We have a good job, and we lose a good job, for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, and you might need a handout, you might need a brother or somebody to come through and help you out here and there with some advice, or maybe slide you a few dollars or something to hold you over. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that those things don't happen and they're not essential at certain points in time in your life, but you're always focusing on being responsible for yourself. You know what I mean? I work so hard. I work very hard in my life, in my professional career, because at the end of the day, I'm afraid. My only fear in life, I don't fear dying. I don't fear getting shot, whatever it is. I don't fear any of that. What I fear in life is being broke. What I fear in life, my biggest fear is waking up one day and my wife and my children need something and I can't give it to them. That's my biggest fear. And my biggest fear is because of that, having to go to somebody and ask them for something. So I try my best to work and grind as hard as I can, because I don't want to have to rely on anybody. Do I want to get advice from people? Yeah. Do I want people to kind of give me pointers and tips on how to do things more efficiently and effectively? Absolutely. But I don't want to completely rely on people. I don't. Absolutely. Shantelle, what's going on? Shantelle. Um, I I fear being broke. That's my biggest fear, is waking up one day and my wife and my children needing something. They need anything, and I can't give it to them. I don't have the money in the bank to go get it. I don't have the resources available, whether it be liquid or stocks or properties or some type of investment. I don't have it to give it to them. That's my biggest fear in life. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I go so hard. That's why I'm up, working and trying to find different opportunities and investments and businesses to maybe start, because I'm afraid of that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like as a masculine man, if I can't provide, you know, for myself first and foremost, but if I can't provide for myself and for the responsibilities that I've created, like my children, like, my marriage, my wife, then I'm naked out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm vulnerable, man. I'm weak. And that's just my personal opinion. Everybody might not feel like that, but that's how I feel as a man. That if I can't do certain things for them, if I can't get them what they need, then you know what I mean, I'm naked. I'm vulnerable. You know what I mean? And I've left my entire household and my lineage vulnerable. And that's something that I fear. You know what I mean? I remember one time I was watching this interview with Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, and they were interviewing him, and they were wondering. They asked him. They said, "Look, man, why are you? You're a multi-billionaire, and you own the Cowboys, and you started off, in the oil game. You took oil money and bought the Cowboys, and but you still work hard. You're the general manager. You do the drafts for your team. You're very active. You know what I mean? In the affairs of your businesses. And why is that? Like, you could just pay people to do it. You know what I'm saying? And Jerry Jones said the same thing. He said, I go so hard because I fear being broke. I fear losing it. I fear, waking up and not having it. You know what I mean? Not having that ability to take care of the things and the people that I need to take care of. So as a masculine man, you want to be responsible for yourself. Um, you want to take care of your responsibilities. That's heavy. That's a huge part of being masculine, of having a masculine mindset. Excuse me. It's being responsible, taking care of yourself first and foremost, putting yourself in the best position possible to take care of the people who need you to take care of them. Your children, your wife, your mother, whoever it is, whoever you need to take care of, put yourself in the best position to do that. You know what I mean? And that masculinity, that drive, that fear is going to make you go out here and get it. You know what I mean? Every single day. You know what I mean? Get up. I don't care if it's raining outside, sleet, snow. I don't care if it's a coronavirus, whatever's going on. Your masculinity kicks in and says, look, regardless of what's going on out here in this world, I got to eat. My children have to eat. My lady has to eat. She needs things. You know what I mean? We need things. My children need things. And I got to go out here and get it. You know what I mean? Regardless of what's going on. That's a masculine mindset. And allowing somebody else to do those things for you, that's not good. That's not a good look. You know what I'm saying? You can't. I remember one time, and it's a personal story. I'm gonna tell it because y'all fam. But I remember one time when I first got married. You know what I mean? This was 2006. My wife and I we eloped. We went to Jamaica, got married. We bought our first home, and so I had kind of I didn't really plan as well as I should have. You know what I mean? I had put a lot of money up on certain things. We just bought the house. We bought all this furniture and stuff like that. And it was a townhouse, nice townhouse in Southern Maryland, PG County. And we got in the house, and within like a few months, um, my water heater broke. The water heater broke in the house. Where it was inoperable. It wasn't working. So um, at the time, I didn't have the liquid assets in the account that I wanted to use to get it. So I was young. I was, in my early mid 20s. I just got married. You know what I mean? I had my money right, but I had it moved around. I had it stretched out a little too thin. And so the water heater broke in the house. I needed to fix it, and I wanted to buy a new one and all of that. So state of the art joint. So I didn't have the money to get it. And so I called my uncle. And my uncle, he was a well-to-do brother, always had money, always gave me knowledge, wisdom, understanding on things. I always admired him, always looked up to this one particular uncle. And so I called him and I said, look, man, my water heater broke, and you know what I mean, I don't have the money. I'm gonna have it like on Friday, whatever, and I'll slide it right back to you. But let me get this money for this water heater. And so I knew what he was going to say. He was like, well, look, let me talk to my wife about it, whatever. Then I'm going to hit you. I hit you right back. So I was like, bet. And I knew he had it. He's the type of brother where he's really, he's old school. He stashes money, whatever. I knew he had it. But he called me back like that evening or the next day. And he told me no. And, and so at that moment, the way I felt, it was probably the most vulnerable I ever felt in the last 15 years of my life. You know what I mean? It was just a water heater. It wasn't really something major like you know, I couldn't pay my mortgage or something because at the time I had my money right. I was working. I just got out of the military. I was working in the federal government, all of that good stuff. But I wanted to do it a certain way, and so he wouldn't allow me to do that. And so when he did that, you know, a lot of brothers that I know, a lot of cousins and brothers and family members, and a lot of brothers, you know, who might be listening to this live, probably who were in the same situation or a similar situation, probably would have got upset with him, and they would have said, you that's foul, that's messed up. You know, why wouldn't you take care of your family? I know you got it, all this kind of stuff. But I thought about it and I said, you know what? He was right. And I'll never, ever again in my life put myself and my wife and family in a situation like that again, where we need something and I got to go to somebody else or I want to go to somebody else to get it. You know what I mean? And I learned that lesson early. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a father figure, you know what I mean, when I was young growing up to kind of teach me that. So I had to learn as I went in life. But I got that lesson when I was like 24, 25 years old that, you know, you do for yourself. You take care of yourself. You know what I mean? You're responsible for yourself. And I got the message. We never talked about it after that. That was over. That was 15 years ago almost. We never really talked about that. And you know what I mean? And I'm doing great now. I'm good. You know, I comfortably make six figures. You know, I'm comfortable. But I remember that lesson that he taught me without even saying anything was that you got to be responsible for yourself and your family. You got a family now. You got responsibilities. So and you got to take care of them. You got to take care of yourself. You know what I mean? So you got to be smart. You got to stash money away. You know what I mean? My man C Boogie in the building. Peace, man. You know what, man? Let me tell you. Let me stop for a second. This brother right here, man, C Boog, I got a lot of respect for this brother, man. I got a lot of love for this brother. You know what I mean? Every time he goes live, I try to check in on him, say peace to him, you know, comment, whatever. You know, he always shows me love, man. He'll every once in a while he'll have me come up on the show, you know what I mean? And I don't even have to do that. I don't even go check him out for that. You know what I mean? I just come check him out because he has a lot of game and wisdom, you know what I mean? And he sets it off, you know what I mean, over there. So I always show that brother love. And I just want to say peace to him. You know, he always shows me love. You know, Dom game, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I hope one day, you know, I'll be an honorary member of the Dom game or whatever, but, you know, we're going to get it popping, man. We're going to do some stuff moving forward, you know what I mean, in the future, hopefully. But that's my man, Baltimore Boogie. Shout out to him. Does great work, man. If you're not hip to him, you know, slide over there, man. See Boogie Productions, check him out, man. Check out his content. He has good game. You know what I mean? Good game for the brothers, man. You know what I mean? He don't lie. He keep it 100. He doesn't try to, you know, fake and be somebody that he's not. You know what I mean? He gives you real life situations that he's been through. You know what I mean? And I recognize that, recognize real, and I see him, man, with 2020 vision. You know what I mean? He's a brother after my own heart. So I got a lot of love for him. So thank you, man, for coming through, showing the cat love. You know what I mean? And Naima says, well, good evening. You know, a few others slid in. That's what's good. But yeah, man, we got to be responsible for ourselves, man. We can't rely on other people to do what we need to do for ourselves. You know what I mean? Every once in a while, you will get in a jam. Some certain situations might happen, like I just talked about, where you may reach out to somebody and you might need some assistance or whatever. But that masculine mindset, man, is really focused on taking care of your business, man, making sure that you are reliable and you're responsible for your own affairs and for the affairs of people that's up under your wing, that's on your team. You know what I mean? Your lady, your children, your household, all of that good stuff. So you want to make sure, you know, that your game is tight where that's concerned. Also, man, you know, the masculine mindset is this. The masculine mindset does not have a victim mentality. And that's a huge, you know, piece to this puzzle, man. I see a lot of brothers walking around with a victim mentality, whether it be how they grew up, whether it be a bad relationship they were in, where they got violated and you know, and they got charged to the game, or they charged the female to the game. For whatever reason, man, a lot of brothers out here have a victim mindset. A lot of brothers out here feel like somebody owes them something. You know what I mean? And nobody owes you anything in life, man. Everything you get, you have to get it on your own. Nobody owes you anything. These women don't owe you nothing. You know what I mean? Women don't owe you nothing. Women owe you the energy that you put out. And if they're not willing to give it to you, then you got to move on. But even in that situation, you can't have a victim mentality. Man, a lot of brothers do that. I mean, I grew up, man. I grew up in the hood. You know what I mean? I grew up um, at an early point in my life. You know, my mom, I grew up on welfare. I grew up in the projects. I grew up on that. You know what I'm saying? Um, I never had a victim mentality, though. I never felt like the world owed me something because my father wasn't around. You know what I mean? I never felt like my wife owed me something because the last girl I was with was disrespectful or had a slick mouth. You know what I'm saying? You can't have a victim mentality in life because when you do, you set yourself up to fail. You're gonna take an L. You know what I mean? Because nobody owes you anything. Nobody gonna give you anything anyway. You can't live your life expecting somebody to give you something. You know what I mean? Because that's hit or miss. That's like playing the lottery, man. People play the lottery their whole life and don't ever win, don't win nothing, or scratch off nothing. You know what I mean? That's what having a victim mentality is. It's like playing the lotto. And most of the time, 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose because nobody cares, man. I remember it's a classic movie back in the day, A Bronx Tale. You know what I mean? If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a classic movie. There was a part in that movie where the kid C, the main character of the movie C, he was Italian. It was back in like the 40s, whatever, and 40s, 50s, whatever. And so he was talking to the boss of the neighborhood, the boss who ran the mob in his neighborhood. And he told him, he said, look, man, you know, I'm talking to this girl, you know what I mean? She's real cool. She's real fly. I like her. You know what I mean? She's cooperating. Everything is right with. I want to check her out. So he was like, yo, so what's the problem? Like, why are you telling me? Why don't you just go in and do what you got to do? So C was like, well, she's from Webster Avenue. You know what I mean? And I'm not from New York. I'm not from the Bronx. But in the movie, they alluded to the fact that Webster Avenue is like where black people stay in the Bronx. So he was like, so automatically when C said she's from Webster Avenue, he was like, yeah, um, she's from, you know what I mean? She must be a colored chick. You know what I mean? They say color back then. So he was like, well, she must be a colored chick if she's from Webster. And so he was like, well, yeah, she is, but she's cool, whatever. What do you think about me, getting at her? And he was like, look, man, nobody cares, man. You know what I'm saying? You do what you do for you. You do what's best for yourself. You know what I mean? And you can't depend on other people, their opinions and all of that. You gotta do what's best for you. If that woman holds you down, she take care of you, whatever, she's doing what she needs to do, you know what I mean? Then you roll with that. Right, Shantelle? That's a classic, man. That's one of my favorite movies, man. You know what I mean? The door test. The door test saved me a lot in my life, man. You know what I mean? If y'all don't know what the door test is, well, I don't know, if you can really do it now. Everything is automatic, a button, you push a button now. But back in the day, the door test was, you go pick up a young lady and you go to the door, you get her, you walk her to the car, you open the door for her, you put her in the car, you close the door. You know what I mean? Then you walk around the back of your car and you look through the back window. And she's supposed to reach over to the driver's side door and unlock the door for you. You know what I'm saying? If she don't unlock that door, then she's selfish and and you get rid of her. You know what I'm saying? Like my man said, Sonny said, look, you dump her and you dump her fast. So yeah, man, that's a classic movie. A lot of jewels in there. But you can't have a victim mentality, man. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of brothers do that, and they walk through life thinking that somebody owes them something. You know what I mean? They won't go out here and grind. They feel like they don't want to work their way up from the bottom because they feel like because they're owed something, so that somebody owes them a debt, that they should start off at a certain place. They should start off a job, automatically making 40, 50, $80,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? They're not starting at the bottom. They're not trying to grind and work their way up. You know what I mean? They don't want to start on YouTube and automatically, based on their own content, build their YouTube channel up. They want to get in and start beefing with people, or they want to get in and start biting people, biting content. You know what I'm saying? We see y'all, we know who y'all are. My man C Book talked about it earlier. There are a lot of cats out here in these YouTube streets who bite content from people that, don't really have um, a lot of subs compared to them. So you see a lot of cats out here with 20, 30, 50,000 subscribers, and they bite content from people like me, like Gabe, You know, at Ultimate Black Man Radio, shout out to the homie C Bug. You know what I mean? Power and Strategy, Tony Maceo. You know, Miss Nicole Michelle over at the Inner Beauty Movement. You know what I'm saying? We might not have the subs, you know, we may not have 100,000 subs or a million subs or whatever, but we're leading with our own content. You know what I'm saying? With our own art, and we're not trying to beef with people in order to get our likes up and subscriptions up. But a lot of people will do that because they don't want to work their way up, or they're already at a certain level. You know what I mean? In their YouTube career, whatever, and they flatline a little bit. They kind of stale. So they've been stuck between 20, 25,000 or 30, 35,000. They're really not saying a lot of movement. So what they'll do is they'll say, oh, somebody over here, they kind of moving, they kind of saying some fly things, they under the radar a little bit. Let me go bite from them. You know what I mean? It's an old game. You know what I mean? It's that game is old. People did it in music, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You remember the Five Heartbeats, man, when they did Nothing But Love, and the label brought in the white dudes, the Five Horsemen. You know what I'm saying? Because they wanted them to sing it, because they were more popular and they felt like they had a better and a bigger opportunity to blow because they were white and they could appeal to white audiences, and they didn't want that appeal from the black artists. So black artists would do songs that wouldn't be allowed to play on mainstream radio, and then white artists would take their music and put it out like it was their own. You know what I mean? Shout out Little Richard just passed away. A lot of people was biting him. Rock and roll. A lot of people don't even know that man founded rock and roll. He's an originator of rock and roll. He don't even really get the credit for it he deserved because people bid it. You know what I'm saying? So we see y'all, man. And so you want to come when you feel like, you know, you're owed something. You feel like, look, this is who I am. I should be getting more. I should be getting cooperation from women or whatever. That's not a masculine mindset, man. You lead with your masculinity. You lead with who you are on the inside. You lead with your principles. You lead with your if you're a content creator, you lead with your own content. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be known out here. Your biggest lives or your biggest videos, your videos with the biggest hits and shares and likes, shouldn't be content that you put out beefing with somebody else. You know what I mean? That shouldn't be your main focus. You know what I mean? Your main focus should be your art. You know, you putting out stuff that's true to your heart. People want you. They don't want to see you what you got to say about another content creator. You know what I mean? They want to hear what you have to say about certain things. So we see y'all, man. You know what I mean? I know I went on a tangent a little bit, but we see y'all, and I'm not gonna say no names because I mean that's unnecessary. You know, the shoe fit, wear it. But we know what y'all doing out here, man. You know what I mean? It's not a good look, especially for certain people to do it. You know what I mean? For the people that's doing it. So you can't have but back on topic, you can't have a victim mentality, man. Nobody owes you anything. You got to go out here and get it for yourself. You know what I mean? And there's no excuses in life, man. Nobody cares about no one wants to hear excuses. Period. You know what I mean? No one wants to hear where you came from. No one wants to hear that your father wasn't there. No one wants to hear that, man. There are too many examples in this world of people coming from nothing. You know what I mean? Let me tell you something. I tell brothers all the time. I tell people all the time, man. One of the greatest lessons you'll learn in life is when you travel. You'll see things from a completely different perspective when you travel. I travel internationally a lot. I went to Spain last year, had a great time. I've been to Africa before. I've been to Ghana, had a great time. I was supposed to be in Greece this April, but the coronavirus shut that down. So I try to get out in this world and see it and experience different things. I mean, I did it a little bit when I was in the military. I was stationed in Korea for a year, but even since I've been out of the military, I try to travel and get out there and see different things. When you travel different places in the States and internationally, you'll realize that you having a victim mentality makes absolutely no sense. You know what I mean? I've been in Africa in villages with chiefs where people, you know, had to carry water 5 miles on their head to cook, to take a bath. And I'm not, and that was the rural part, because when I went to Ghana, it was very much modern. They very much had, you know, cities and schools and universities. I went to all of them. I had a great time. But I did go into the rural parts of it. I did go into villages with chiefs and who had a rack of wives, they had a rack of children, And you know what I mean? And I had fun with them. I built with them. They cooked for us. They danced, the children and women danced for us, all of that. You know what I'm saying? So I saw that side too. So it made me think a lot about my life when I came home, and I was like, look, man, there are people, I don't care where you're from. I don't care if you're from DC. I don't care if you're from Baltimore. I have family in Baltimore. I go up there a lot. Um, I have family in Philly. You know what I mean? I don't care if you're from New York, Chicago, Miami, Atlanta, Memphis. I don't care where you're from. There are people um, in this world who will slit your throat in order to have the opportunity to live in the projects that we have in America. That's just facts. They will literally slit your throat to come to Baltimore and live in Perkins projects. Shout out to my family. Shout out to my people there in Perkins. There are people all over the world who will take somebody's life for the opportunity to live in your projects. So when you understand that, when you get out here and you see different things, you understand that, look, man, I can't have a victim mentality. I grew up with brothers who had nothing. You know, mom strung out on crack, brother, you know, father locked up. You know what I mean? Still went to high school, graduated, still went to college, graduated, still doing well for themselves, own their own home, grinding, all of that. Maybe went to the military. Some of them went to the military. Some of them started their own business. They cooking now though. They doing their thing. So there's no excuse. You cannot have a victim mentality out here in this world. Absolutely. Like my man C. Book said, Muhammad, man, do for yourself. You know what I mean? You might not necessarily move at the same pace as other people, but move at your own pace, man. And as long as you're moving to your goal, towards your goal, that's that's a masculine mindset, man, and not having a victim mentality at all. You know what I mean? Men always look for knowledge and wisdom. You know what I mean? I always look for that. You know, I'm always got my head in a book. I'm always listening to people that can teach me something. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, when I'm at the crib, I mean, I'm quarantined now. I work 100% telework now. I'm at home. But when I see certain people get on, man, like when I get that alert, see boogers on, when I get that alert, power and strategies on, when I get that alert, and beauty movements on, certain people, when I get that alert, the House of L is on, I'm waiting for you. When I get them alerts, I automatically slide over there. Why? Because I know it's wisdom over there. You know what I mean? I know it's knowledge over there. I can learn something. You know what I mean? The masculine mindset is constantly growing. You're constantly feeding that masculine fire, that energy, man. You want to know more. You know what I mean? You want to know more because you want to do more. You know what I mean? If you in your relationship, a woman wants a man that can teach her something. You know what I mean? A woman wants a man that has knowledge, man. You know what I mean? That my wife tell me almost every day, man, and this is no cap. My wife tell me every day, she says, Frank, you are the smartest man I know. You're the smartest man I ever met. We have conversations and you blow my mind away with some of the stuff you know and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's just for me and my personal situation. But women want somebody, they want a man that can teach them something. You know what I'm saying? That's attractive, man. You out here tricking off your money on these females. Teach us something, man. You know what I'm saying? Give us some information. Have an intellectual conversation, and you give us some game that she didn't know. You know what I mean? That's attractive, man. That's fly. You know what I'm saying? That's something that she'll remember. You know what I mean? Like he exposed me to something that I didn't know. You know what I mean? He taught me something. He showed me something that I had no idea about, especially if it's something that she can take and implement in her life and make her a better woman for herself and for you if it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? So you always want to come out here and and learn something, man. Miss V, how you doing? How you doing, sweetheart? Um, yeah, but you know, that's important, man. That's an integral part of masculinity, having a masculine mindset, man. It's constantly learning something. I don't care how you learn it. You might read a book. You might watch it on TV. You might travel it. And, you know, some people hands on. Some people like to read. Some people like visuals, whatever. But you constantly learn it, man. Learn new things. Don't don't learn the same stuff that everybody else knows. Learn something different. You know what I mean? When I first moved to DC, I will always go to the Smithsonian museums. I will always go there. You know what I mean? It's free. It's a lot of information, a lot of wisdom in there. You know what I mean? DC, I will go to the Black Civil War Museum right there off U Street, right there by Ben's Chili Bowl. Shantelle know what I'm talking about. I go to the Black Civil War Museum right there on U Street. You know what I mean? Always get information, always learning something. And then I didn't know why I was going to need it. You know what I'm saying? But I got it for myself first and foremost, just so I could have that knowledge. But you never know the spaces you're going to be in your life. You never know the people you're going to be around. And a conversation pop up, about anything, about history, about, whatever. And you could bring something to the table. People like, that's cool that he know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's dope that he have information like that. And so, you know what I mean? And that catches people off guard. So you're always consistently as a man trying to put um tools in your tool chest, man. You know what I mean? We're all mechanics in this life. We're all built. If you're a man, you're a builder. That's your innate responsibility. That's your innate energy. It's to build, create, innovate. So in order for you to build the best way that you can, you need to have you need to have a plethora of tools in your chest. You know what I mean? Different tools, man. So that's what knowledge is. That's what wisdom and understanding is. That's tools for you to put in your chest, because you never know when you're going to need it. You might be working on something and you think you need, a screwdriver. You might need another tool, and then you got it in there. You know what I'm saying? So you may go into a interview. You may go on a date with a young lady you trying to court, and you might think you need something, or you might think that you're good with in a certain area, and then something else come up. And if you're balanced, if you're aware of a wide range of things, then that's going to help you be better at what you're trying to be and who you're trying to be with. You know what I mean? Um, Say Tina, yeah, man. Like I love DC. I love living here because being from Raleigh, um, and I love Raleigh too. Shout out to my home, Raleigh, North Carolina. Um, but I moved to DC, man, and I stayed here because of the culture. Like when I got out of the army, I got stationed at Walter Reed. That was my last duty station, and I had a choice. I had just got married. I had my wife, and my wife was like, "Look, I'm going where you go. If you want to go home, you want to go to Raleigh, I'm going. You tell me where we're going, and I'm packing, and I'm gonna make the crib fly and smell good and look good. I don't care where it's at, Raleigh, DC, wherever. I'm going. I'm with you." But one of the reasons why I decided to stay in DC, man, is because I love the culture. I love the history. I love the knowledge. You know what I mean? And the crazy thing about it is a lot of this stuff is free. All the Smithsonians are free. It's federally funded, so you can go. I love going to the African Art Museum. You know what I mean? The Black History Museum is kind of new, but if you ever get a chance to come to DC, go to these places, man. Go to the African American History Museum. Go to African art. You know what I mean? Go to American history. You'll learn a lot, man. You'll expose yourself to a lot of different things and a lot of different people. And like I said, you never know, where life is going to take you. So regardless of where it takes you, you want to make sure you're equipped and you're ready and prepared to handle whatever situation comes to you. And you best equip yourself to do that by having a wide array of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding on a variety of different things. You know what I mean? So always have that mindset where you trying to acquire knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Next thing, man, a masculine mindset. You don't really focus on women. You don't lead off focusing on women. And I think a lot of brothers put the cart before the horse because they focus on women and they don't focus on themselves first. They don't focus on building something first. They want to, they want the lady, but they don't want to prepare the table first. You know what I mean? You want to eat, but you haven't prepared the table first. You know what I mean? You got to set the table in life, as a masculine man with the masculine mindset. You know what I mean? You do not want to put the focus on anybody else but yourself. You know what I mean? And when you focus on that female, right? When you focus on the female, you don't want to just focus on the physical part. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Men, we're visual beings. Everybody knows that. You know what I mean? We are very attracted to women. Women are the most beautiful thing God ever made. You know what I mean? So we're definitely keen to that. We focus on that. But at the end of the day, you gotta focus on the important things in life. You gotta focus on the things that matter. You gotta focus on the things that bring you joy. You gotta focus on the things that bring you peace. You gotta focus on the things that bring you preferably doing what you have to do as a man, learning, growing, evolving, working on self, getting your business together, making sure your money's right, making sure you're right. And then you present that to a female. And then you give her the option to either compliment it and cooperate with it or not. You know what I'm saying? But you got to give her something to cooperate and compliment. You know what I mean? And that's where a lot of brothers are dropping the ball because they're focusing on the female instead of focusing on producing and building. You know what I mean? So a lot of relationships fold like that because dudes don't have it together. They go out here and they get with a female, and then and then there's problems in the relationship, and they wonder why this chick, is doing certain things, or they wonder why they're having certain issues in the relationship. A lot of it is you put her above your responsibilities as a man. You know what I'm saying? And then you expect her to just deal with it, to be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? A woman in her natural energy wants to be, involved with or around a masculine man who has his business together. Period. He don't have to be perfect. Of course, none of us are perfect. I'm not perfect. My man C Boog not perfect. Gabe not perfect. We're not perfect at all. But at the end of the day, there's certain things that you have to have. There's certain prerequisites, man, for you to have a masculine mindset, for you to call yourself a man. You know what I mean? Male and female are genders. Man and woman are positions. And you have to have certain requirements and qualifications to call yourself that. You know what I'm saying? Like I think I put a post up about it earlier this morning. I was cooking a little bit. I was cooking with some hot grease, but that's facts. There are certain requirements that you have to meet to call yourself masculine. You don't get to call yourself masculine because you're a man, because you have hair, you have hair on your sack. That don't make you a man. That don't make you masculine. That makes you male. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to constantly work on self, man. You know what I mean? And you can't focus on other things. You can't focus on other people. That's right. Shantelle, I'm with you, man. Nobody's perfect out here. But, you know, I want, I speak, specifically to brothers, man, because I feel like, and I speak to women too. I speak to everybody. I speak to all of us because we all need to be spoken to. We all need to learn and we all need to teach what we know. But at the end of the day, I'm old school and I feel like the man is the head. You know what I mean? If the man is the head and the man wants to be treated as the head, he has to take accountability and responsibility for the house. He has to do it. That's the way I live. I live my life like if my house is not in order, that's my fault. That's the blessing and the burden of manhood and of masculinity, in my personal opinion. I take responsibility for my crib. If my wife, if things aren't going the way they're supposed to be going in my house, and with me, my wife, my children, I take responsibility for that. I take accountability for that. The first thing I do is I check myself. What am I doing? Am I leading right? You know what I mean? Am I leading with the right energy, with the right tone? Am I leading? Am I leading in a way where they can kind of understand what this vision is and they follow it? That's the first thing I do. The first thing I do is I assess myself. I check myself first. You know what I mean? Sometimes it might not be me. Sometimes it might just be, hey, you know, situations, whatever, are causing things not to be aligned properly, and then I get it back in order. But the first thing I do as a man is I hold myself accountable and responsible for mine. You know what I mean? Because I feel like, when I go to my creator, you know what I mean? I have to answer for them. I have to answer for my wife and my children. That's how I feel. You know what I mean? I'm not telling nobody how to think, how to feel, nothing. But I take accountability for that because that's how I believe a man is supposed to think. That's what I believe a masculine mindset is. You know what I'm saying? So you don't focus on women, man. You focus on when you a young brother out here. I'm not telling you to go out here and indulge, man. Look, you're a man. You have needs. You go out here and get it. You know what I mean? You clap cheeks, man. You know what I mean? If they're quality chicks out here and they want to be clapped, if you proceed with caution, but you do what you got to do. But what I'm telling you is you don't focus first and foremost. You don't put all your energy into women. That's how you lose. You put your energy into yourself, into you being the best man that you can be. Because trust me, man, women are looking. You ain't got to go out here and find nothing. A lot of these women have already found you. They're just waiting for the right opportunity and the right environment for you to see them, and then for you to approach them and put your bid in and start getting your courting game up. You know what I mean? So you got to focus on yourself first and foremost. That's important, man. A lot of dudes, I've seen it a lot of times, man. Dudes are suckers for love, and they'll get into these relationships and they're not prepared for it. They don't have no job, they don't have no resources, they don't have any accomplishments, and they get involved with these females. And these females, they love them, so they try to provide for them, and they try to help them out and try to slide them a few dollars and help them write their resume and do all these things, because women are naturally nourishers, man. They naturally nourish and nurture relationships. That's what they do. They naturally take lemons and make lemonade. That's a God-given art that women have, that he gave to them. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times that's what they're going to do. You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't really where he's supposed to be at, and I love him, so I'm gonna do this for him. I'm gonna write his resume and submit it for him. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna fill out this application for this job for him, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all get into a relationship and it don't work. Then you want to call Frank, or you want to call C-Bug for a consultation or whatever. And you like, look, man, I don't understand what's going on. Like, she tripping. She ain't treating me right. You know what I'm saying? She not sexing me no more. Her mouth got slick or whatever. And then you start peeling the onions back, you start peeling those layers back, and you see, man, you put the cart before the horse. You wasn't even ready, you wasn't even ready to engage in a serious relationship with a female because you didn't have your stuff together. You know what I mean? That's idiotic and chaotic for you to expect, anybody on any level to deal with dysfunction. And that's dysfunctional. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that, look, every man is supposed to, have it together to a certain level, but you should be moving in the right direction. And if you don't have your stuff right, if you don't have your paper up, if you don't have a situation where you can take care of yourself, where you're reliable, where you can rely on self, then you shouldn't even really be stepping to a woman for a serious relationship. And you should be honest with her too. Don't think that's not cool. Look, man, there's no one on this earth that's important enough, or that is important enough for you to lie to. You know what I mean? Be concise, man. Be clear. You know what I mean? If you would do and you like, yo, I just want to smash, like, or I'm just trying to kick it. I don't want nothing serious, man. Tell her the truth. Honestly, man, look, you'll be amazed at what certain women will go for if you honest with them. You know what I'm saying? If you say, look, I ain't really I ain't really doing nothing serious right now. I'm just kind of doing my thing. There are women out here who are like, all right, cool. We can casually get up and have drinks or whatever and build or whatever. But be honest, man. You know what I mean? But back to it, man. Always focus on yourself. You know what I mean? Never, the masculine mindset never compromises its principles, man. If you know who you are and you know what you represent and what you're about, you don't compromise that for anybody. I mean, for nobody. I don't compromise my principles I wouldn't. I'm telling you straight up. I would not compromise my principles for my own children. I would not compromise my own principles for my wife. Now, my wife, by the grace of God, almost 15 years in, she's never, there's never been a situation where I felt like she made me, or where there was an opportunity for me to, or for her to present something to me that would compromise my principles. She's never done that. You know what I mean? She's been on point with that. But you don't compromise yourself for anybody, man. You know what I mean? I don't care who you are. I don't care who you around. I don't care who you date. I don't care, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't compromise your principles for anybody. I've been in spaces, man, where I've been in rooms with millionaires and doctors and lawyers and engineers and accountants. I remember, my wife, she's at home now. She's primarily at home, and she works from home. But when I first met her, we would go to these places, and she went to a prestigious school in Massachusetts for college, and she's an accountant. And we would go to these places, we would go to these banquets and functions, and it would be all kind of people in this room. I mean, people that, people you would see on TV. You know what I'm saying? And in these spaces, I don't care where you from. I don't care if you're from the projects. I don't care if you got a GED. I don't care where you're from. You don't compromise your integrity and your principles for anybody. You stand on that. You never change up, because if you change up for somebody, if you change up for a woman, for somebody else, you're going to have to live up to that every day. And you're perpetrating a fraud. And it's only so long you can live up to something that's not true. It's only so long that you can live up to an illusion. You know what I mean? Eventually, she going to get hip to the fact that you faking, or you're going to get tired of faking, and everything is going to disintegrate. And you did all of that for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So always be yourself, man. Always focus on yourself first and foremost. You know what I mean? Women, a good woman who loves you, who's there for you, who's going to take care of you, she's going to line up with what you're doing. She's going to cooperate and complement what you're doing. But in order for her to do that, you got to be doing something. And in order for you to be doing something, you have to focus on you and focus on what you're doing. Facts. You know what I mean? That's really not up for debate. It's not really anything to kind of, debate or go back and forth with. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple more things I want to talk about very briefly, and then I'm gonna say peace. But the masculine mindset is consistent. You know what I mean? As a man, you want to be consistent. The same way you start in any situation, in any environment, is the way you should finish. You know what I mean? Be consistent. A lot of women will tell you, you see a lot of women who will say, well, yeah, he started like this, or he started doing this. And then over time he stopped, or after I let him hit, he stopped, or after, we had a kid, he stopped, or whatever it is, man. Being masculine means being consistent. You know what I mean? Be consistent. Be a masculine man with a masculine mindset is a rock. A rock is consistent. It don't change its shape. It's strong, it's firm, it doesn't waver. That's masculine energy. That's the masculine mindset. You know what I mean? That's what you have to be. You got to be strong. You got to be that rock. You have to be consistent. You can't be that chameleon and be one way today and another way tomorrow. You can't laugh at something that she said today and then try to cuss her out when she said the same thing next week. You got to be consistent, because especially in a relationship, because women are naturally emotional. We all know this. This isn't something that's foreign. This is not Mandarin here. We all know that women are naturally emotional. So if she's emotional, your responsibility and your energy with the masculine mindset should be to balance that. And you balance emotion with logic. You balance water with something sturdy, with something firm. You know what I mean? And and when you pour that water into that water is gonna take the shape of whatever glass it's in. Whether it's short, tall, skinny, fat, whatever, that water is gonna take the shape of whatever it's in. You know what I mean? You're the glass. You're the glass in the relationship. You're strong, you're sturdy, you're dependable. She's the water, she's gonna flow. She's gonna fill. She's gonna fill you up. She's gonna nourish. She's gonna nurture. So when she gets poured in, she's going to take your shape. But you got to make sure that you give her something to pour into. You know what I mean? You got to do that. You can't. You got to be consistent, man. She needs that. You know what I'm saying? If you out here crying and whining and complaining about stuff, that's not firm. That's not fair. That's not consistent. And so who's she gonna rely on? In that household, man, in that relationship, somebody got to be the discipline. Somebody has to be the order. And it's supposed to be you. You know what I mean? If she got to do it, then she's out of order, and you out of order for letting her do that and making her have to do that. You know what I'm saying? And if you're in a situation where she's the one doing it, then you playing a beta role. And that ain't gonna last for so long, because you're gonna get tired of that, and she's gonna get tired of it too. Whether she tell you or not, whether she slide off on the low and be with somebody else that's not like you, or whether she just cut you off completely. Either way, it's not gonna work, man. You know what I mean? You got to be consistent. Women respect that, man. Men respect that. My man C Boog in here, man. When I go to C Boog's channel and listen to him, C Boog is consistent. He's the same way all the time. He don't try to switch it up. He don't try to be Derek Jackson because he in a certain space with certain people, and then he don't try to be another way because he's doing his male man improvement summit or whatever, empowerment summit. He don't act one way in there, and then he come up on his live and act one way depending on the topic. He say something completely different from what he said a couple days ago. Nah, he's consistent. He's a consistent brother, and even as a man, I respect that. You know what I'm saying? All genders, relationship aside, I respect the brother that's consistent. I know when I go to certain people that I know they're going to be consistent. That's why I go to them. That's why I listen to them. That's why I get advice from them. That's why I learn from them because they're consistent. I know what I'm going to get every single time I step to them. And as a man, your woman should know what she's going to get every single time she steps to you. She should know that when she's stressed out, when she had a bad day, I'm going to go to him. He going to say something strong, assertive. You know what I mean? He gonna look at me with a strong, assertive look. He gonna hold me. He gonna tell me it's gonna be all right. You know what I mean? We're gonna chill. We're gonna build. We're gonna have a conversation, and he's gonna comfort me. You know what I mean? And I know him, and she knows she's gonna get that every single time. That's why she keep coming back because she wants that consistency. She wants that order, that discipline. That is what you should be bringing, and you should bring that everywhere. When you want your job, you should be consistent. When you turn your work in, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I was in the military and I had to do stuff. I was a medic when I was in the military. I was a 91 whiskey, and I had this our program. We had to certify as EMT, so I was a certified EMT when I was in the Army, and a little bit when I got out. But I didn't re up on my certifications or whatever because I wanted to go in a different area with my career. But you want to be consistent all the time. People should be able to look at you at your job, your supervisor, your boss, whatever, your colleagues, your business partners should be able to say, you know what, man, Frank consistent, man. Every time I need something from him, every time we got something going on, he's consistent. He does it right. He turns it in on time. I don't have to worry about nothing. That's the way you want to live as a man in this world. You want people to be able to look at you and say, okay, when you go to work, you want people to say, I know we're going to have a good day because Frank came into work today. You know what I mean? I know, Frank, I know we're going to have a good day today because C Boog is here today. And I know what I'm going to get every time he's in the building. I know he's going to be dressed right. I know he's going to be presentable. I know he's going to have everything in order. You know what I mean? Whatever we're doing, we writing projects, we doing grants, we having presentations. I know it's going to be straight because he's consistent. He's the same way every single time. Because your foundation has to be consistent. You can't build nothing without a solid foundation. You can't build a relationship unless you're solid as a man. You have to be solid because you're the foundation of it. You're the one who sets the parameters for the relationship. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not solid, if you're not consistent, then the whole relationship is in trouble. The whole situation is going to be in trouble, man. You know what I mean? Lastly, masculine men with the masculine mindset always recalibrate and reassess. You know what I mean? We always reassess our life. Periodically, we always think about how we can improve. What we did, what we said, what mistakes we made, good things, bad things. We always try to improve on them. You know what I mean? We always reassess our life. That you go through phases in life. There are seasons to life. You know what I mean? And when you go through each season, you want to reassess yourself. And once you reassess, you recalibrate, and then you get right back to it. So in any situation, a job, a relationship, a friendship, your content on your channel, whatever it is, you always want to reassess. You know what I mean? What did I do? What was the effect and what was the conclusion of what I did? What was good? What was bad? You know what I mean? How can I improve? What do I need to keep? What do I need to throw away? Who do I need to keep? Who do I need to throw away? You understand what I'm saying? You always reassess, man. You always trim that fat in your life, in your professional career, in your personal life, and your relationships. You always trim that fat, man. You always looking to improve. Some stuff you need to add on, some stuff you need to let go. You know what I mean? And you constantly have that mindset to want to do those things because that's going to make you better. You know what I mean? Facts. You got to, man. You know what I mean? If I'm doing the same things today that I did 5 years ago, I didn't trim the fat. If I'm on the same level with the same people today that I was 5 years ago, I haven't trimmed the fat. You know what I mean? I haven't reassessed. I haven't recalibrated. Because even if you're still in my life, if you were there 5 years ago and you still here, we should be on another level. We should be on a high level. You know what I'm saying? The same goals and dreams and aspirations that we had 5 years ago, we should be talking about something bigger and better now. Or we should be farther along in the process in order to acquire those things now. You know what I mean? We should be there. You know what I'm saying? If I'm sitting here 5 years from now and I'm still talking about the masculine mindset and I'm talking about it the exact same way, I fail myself and I fail the people who support this channel. I should grow. And I have to be in a consistent and constant mindset to grow. But I got to be able to look at myself. And I can't look at what other people are doing and try to do what they do. No, I have to focus on self. At the end of the day, that's what we have to do as men. We have to focus on ourselves. We're focusing on all the wrong things. You know what I mean? We're focusing on women. We're focusing on other people. You know what I mean? We're beefing with other people. Nah, man, focus on you. You know what I mean? You do what you have to do, man. You know what I'm saying? And everything else is going to fall into place. I promise you that. Look, man, I'm telling you, everything I'm speaking is from experience. I don't have to lie to nobody. I don't have to perpetrate a fraud. You know what I mean? I'm not out here acting like, you know, I treat women a certain way when I know I don't. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm whole. I'm not in this game to look for something that I don't already have. Not in that regard. I'm gonna give you frank. Period. That's all I got. So that's all I can give you. And I'm not gonna give you nobody else. I'm not gonna come up on here before y'all and lie and front. You know what I mean? And I do this and I got this and these people do this for me and whatever. And she do that for me. Now I'm not doing that, man. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people out here do it, you know, on their channels and stuff, but y'all gonna get exposed too. Because the people around y'all talk, number one. You know what I'm saying? And we know it. There's no reason to lie, man. You know what I'm saying? Be yourself. You be you, man. There's nobody better at being you than you. You are enough. You know what I mean? You're a little kid in the hood and you don't really have nothing. You're trying to get something. You are enough. Everything that you need to get where you want to get in life is inside of you, man. You just got to focus on finding it. You got to focus on improving it, enhancing it. And then you go out here and you hit it 100 miles an hour with reckless abandon to go out here and get that bag and everything that you want, man. You go get it. You know what I'm saying? And don't live your life like somebody owe you something. Don't live your life looking for a handout. You go get it for yourself, man. You know what I mean? There's plenty of tools out here, man. You Google anything. You know what I mean? Harvard University got classes online for free. The Harvard University has classes online for free. STEM, all that, man. You can go get it. The game is designed for the people who grind the hardest. The people who grind the hardest are the ones that get it in life. They're the ones that's successful. And the ones that don't, they're the ones that's complaining. They're the ones that's beefing with people. Instead of going out here and getting it, they're beefing with other people who got it to try to get some crumbs. You know what I mean? So you got to focus on yourself, man. So on that note, man, I just want to say peace. I want to shout out, you know, all the people, man, who came through, you know, supported the kid. You know, man, I love y'all, man. I got a lot of respect for y'all, man. You know, so it's a Friday. Y'all could be anywhere. You know, anywhere. You could be in any room in your house, watching any TV show. I mean, because we still got this virus popping, but you could be doing anything, man. You came here with me. You know what I mean? I appreciate it. All of that. You know, check me out on Facebook. I'm on Facebook. I'm a little bit everywhere. Let me see what I got. So yes, I'm on Facebook. You know, I have my page on Facebook, View from the Man Cave. You know what I mean? I'm on Instagram, View from the Man Cave as well. Out there on Instagram, and I'm on Twitter too. You know what I mean? Twitter, View from Man Cave. You know what I mean? So if you in any of those spots, you know what I'm saying? Come check me out. Come check your brother out, man. You know, add me on, and we can get it popping like that. If you haven't already, You know what I mean? Like and subscribe. You know what I mean? If you want to do that, you know what I mean? Um, excuse me. I'm going to consistently put out. You know, I'm starting to do the lives now. It's working well, so I'm gonna start putting out. You know, content consistently. Probably do a couple lives a week, do some recorded content as well. So be on the lookout for that. You know, like and subscribe. There are a lot of content creators out here that I have a lot of love and respect for. Some of them are in the chat. You know, slide over to them. You know what I mean? Check out their content. You know what I mean? If it's for you, like and subscribe. If not, that's all good too. It's all love. And you know what I mean? And if you want to support the channel, you know what I mean? You know, financially or whatever, you can do that too. You know what I mean? I'm on Cash App. Um, $ FJR81 at Cash App. I'm on PayPal as well. PayPal.me/ View from the Man Cave. You know what I mean? So all of that. So thank y'all, man. Miss V, Shantelle, that's fam. See, Boog, absolutely, bro. We got to do something, man. You know what I mean? You know, just let me know. You know, we could do something on YouTube. You know, my channel or your channel, whatever. We can do something in the streets too, man. I'm telling you, like I travel a lot, man. Um, you know, shout out to Natalie. I don't know if Natalie's still in here, but you know, I went out to California for work the end of last year. I took my wife with me out there. I had to go to San Diego for work, and I went to LA. I drove down to LA, you know, to go pay my respects to Nip. Shout out to Nipsey Hussle and all that. And I was right near Natalie too. You know, I didn't think to check in until it was too late, but I reached out to Natalie and she was like, you know, she gave me some spots to take my wife, some nice spots in LA and restaurants and all of that. So shout out to Natalie. And she told me, you know, whenever I come back out to LA, you know, just reach out to her, man, and we'll get up. So absolutely. You know what I mean? I missed Shantelle too one time. I took the family on a cruise, took the kids, you know, to the islands. We were island hopping on a cruise and all that. And I was near Shantelle too. So next time I come down there, you know what I mean, we'll definitely get up and say hi, man. I bring the wife over. We have some drinks or something. So I get out a lot, man. I do a lot of things. I move around. I already told my man Gabe that I got to get to Memphis. You know what I mean? Check my man Gabe out. You know what I'm saying? Take him out to eat. You know what I mean? Get him, you know, get some drinks or something. So that go for C-Bug too, man. We gotta do something, man. I go to Raleigh often, man. As soon as this virus is over and we can move, I'm gonna probably come down to Raleigh and see my people. I was supposed to go at the end of March down there. So I'm from Raleigh. I got people in Durham, Charlotte, all of that. So next time I come through, I get your information, you know what I mean? And we'll do it like that. So, and you can email me too, man. You know, my email is hold on, let me create something real quick. Hold on, give me 1 second. Hold on. Yeah, so that's my email, man. FrankJRivers@gmail.com. You know what I mean? If you have any ideas, you want to give me any feedback or whatever as it relates to the channel, you know what I mean? If anybody wants to link up, you know what I mean, they have an idea for a topic, say, hey, Frank, I was thinking about this. What do you think about it? Maybe it's something you could talk about on your show, kind of give people some game on it. Let me know. So that's the email. So C-Boy, we could definitely get up. You email me, man. I slide you over my you know, I get you those numerics, my number, whatever. We can build like that and do whatever we need to do, man. Because it's real dude season, man. You know what I'm saying? It's real man season out here. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta build, man. If we don't build, you know what I mean, we're doing a disservice to ourselves and to everybody else. So we'll definitely do it like that. But on that note, man, I just want to say peace. Y'all have a good weekend. You know what I mean? Here in the DMV, it's good. It's like 80 degrees. So if you can get out for a little walk, go do something. Enjoy your weekend. Y'all be safe. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.